MS is often a very misunderstood disease. So what do you wish the general public knew about MS? I asked some people with MS along with caregivers, and these are their responses, and I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below.
Our symptoms are not always obviously seen. Some are silent.
We're everywhere. I think it's an invisible illness for many, but we're everywhere. I know tons of people with MS. It's not common. And just support each other. Research it. Learn about it. If you have a family member, we're here. We're living, and we're proud to be a part of this amazing community. So yeah, just reach out to us.
It's so frustrating. More than anything, I'm frustrated. I'm an impatient person, and I need help. And you wait, and there's something to deal with constantly, but it's all in your mind and how you tackle it. And you control your mind, you can handle the disease. That's my tip right there. The power of the mind.
I just wish that people even just had a basic running knowledge of the challenges that people with MS have to undergo, because I think there's a lot about MS that just the general public doesn't understand. Like here at this walk, it's very hot outside. People with MS, heat is not good for their bodies, so they get tired, so just to have just a more cultural kind of sensitivity to that.
As with diseases and illnesses that people can't see, they think that everybody's fine, and sometimes they don't realize that behind closed doors they're not fine, and it takes them 100% just to get to that work or school or social event, but the rest of the time they're not okay. And it's not that they need to realize that, but it's not their job. It is what it is, and not everybody is okay just because they look okay.
I wish that people would know that you can't look at somebody and judge that they have MS or that they don't. So if you see somebody that has a handicap placard and they don't look handicapped, it could be other things. It could be heat sensitivity. It could be all these other issues that other diseases have, that it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody in a wheelchair if you have MS.
And how about yourself, sir?
And mine would be, I'd say that MS is like a snowflake. There's no two that are exactly the same. Every MS patient has different problems, different sensitivities. My wife has certain ones. She's more susceptible to heat. She's got cognitive issues. Others have neurological damage, and it just depends on where the lesions end up in the brain.
It's invisible. Everyone feels it differently, and I feel like just having the understanding that, what might be MS for one person is totally different for another person, and accepting that and just being their support helps a lot. I have a lot of friends and family here today, and it feels great knowing that they believe in me and believe for me, so
Yeah, you have a ton of people who came out for you, and they pointed right to you when I asked if anyone wanted to do the interview.
Yep.
That it's not always visible, that some people can have the disability and have the diagnosis, but you may not be able to see it. It's not like a broken arm that somebody's wearing a cast and everybody can see it. It's an invisible disease, but that doesn't mean you don't have a disease and a diagnosis and things that you're dealing with on a daily basis.
Basically what MS actually is, and just how people have to struggle with something normal. Even responding to you can be difficult. Even making a simple cup of coffee can be difficult. They have to know that some of these things are just not, they don't come as easy as they used to this person, or that it comes to you.
I think the biggest single thing is most people with MS look like you, me, and everyone else. They're walking around with it. A lot of people, like my sister-in-law, you can't hardly tell. And so just because they don't show the symptoms or anything doesn't mean that they're not going through pain, lethargy, it's one of these, for the most part, invisible diseases early on.
Just for people to understand those invisible aspects of a chronic disease.
Exactly.
MS is not visible. Not everybody has a walking aid. And the memory loss, the fatigue, the difficulty with speaking is not something that everybody understands. If you are working, your colleagues are not going to get the fact that you are working with a disability. And the public needs to understand that this is a disability and you are not faking and you are not pretending to be sick. This is a legitimate thing that you are working through and fighting against.
The world want to know what MS means, you know, understand what MS means and take care of us, you know? Yeah.
To know more about MS in general,
Yeah.
to have greater understanding of MS.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a wide range of symptoms. There are a lot of invisible symptoms, and that it's not contagious. We're not going to rub it off on you or anything like that. So just accept us for who we are, work with us, listen to us, and just be there to support us.
They say I'm normal, but I have MS. And fatigue, everything works in not my favor.
For people to understand those invisible symptoms, the pain and fatigue that they can't see, right?
Exactly.
I would say probably, the public be more educated on the differences between the different types of MS, people remitting, aggressive. I think that many people don't understand that for some people it gets better and worse, and other people have, different situation. But I think there's a lack of knowledge of the different types of MS.
Just the variability of the disease, right?
I think it's important for them to be able to understand that MS isn't something that's just come up, that it's something that has been looked at for a long, long time. There have been huge changes in how MS is treated. And to give their support, to start giving more of their money and their knowledge and their time to MS to help make a change.
What it does to us.
Like, what do you mean by that?
Why we get tired so easy or fall a lot, drop things. Get tired, fall things, stuff like that.
Sometimes we can't explain it, we're just tired. We're just like there's nothing left in us and we just need a little break, but we'll be back up there. Just give us some time and we'll be okay.
It seems to me that a lot of people don't take MS seriously. They almost feel that it's one of those diseases that it's not a serious disease. Just getting to know all the different levels and types of MS and the treatments and cares, I would like people to see that it is a serious life-threatening disease and just get out there and know about it.
You know, because some people may look superficially good, but they can still have a lot of problems.
Like my son, he looks good, but I see the days that he doesn't look good. And watching him go through that is very hard, and I'd like for other people to see more about that. And it is a very serious disease.
But everyone's different. We're all not the same. And then the brain is very intriguing, and that not too many people are the same. Like for me, I've had it since 1997. I'm doing good, thank the Lord. I thank God every day for that. But some people, it's very debilitating. What's the word?
Debilitating, yeah.
That's the word. Debilitating to a lot, and they're on wheelchairs and they can't move their arms or legs. The brain does everything for you, and some are not too well.
And there's just a tremendous amount of individual variation, right?
Exactly. We're all different. We're all made different. Mm-hmm.